Hey, it's Carla. Welcome to my Brooklyn backyard. I want to show you my outdoor cooking setup. I've been wanting to do this video for a really long time. I've shown my backyard in a lot of my grilling videos, but I always get questions about how I built this outdoor fireplace, and I didn't want to make a video about it until I could actually serve you. So I will go through how I put it together, but there is also a booklet, a printable PDF, that if you're inspired by this and you want to build your own outdoor fireplace in your backyard, you'll be able to use these plans and make your own Carla. Amazing. Immediately to my right, you will see our outdoor fireplace. This is different than a pizza oven. It does not have a dome and it is not enclosed in the front. So essentially it's a hearth. And what is great about it is that it provides like an enormous amount of cooking real estate. You don't have to have one of these, but it's really fun to have a digital thermometer laser pointer. So in that back corner, it's 200 degrees. In this little front corner, it's 165. Over here, which is further away, a nice 120. That's a good keep warm temperature. And in the back corner, if I was to maybe put some eggplant directly on the coals, that is 500 degrees. And then up here, if something were hanging, it's around 300. So this one space has like 5 different ovens built into it and super flexible, move things around. You could have the fire going across the back, one corner, in the front even. The options are endless. There's a couple of choices that I made about the outdoor fireplace, and this was put together for me by a bricklayer. He had made a lot of these kind of arched ovens and had designed some in the neighborhood, and so he kind of knew what he was doing and I kind of knew what I wanted out of it. Because I'm only 5'3", I wanted the surface of this grill to kind of hit me at my lower hip. The reason that I designed it that way was because if the hearth was higher up, like chest level, or even at a standard like 36-inch kitchen counter height, it would require me to kind of go up and over, or to have something right here that I had to get past in order to reach things, maybe in the back corner, maybe to throw coals in the back, maybe to be shoveling up coals from that back corner. And because I'm short, I just wanted to be able to reach. So that's why for my fireplace, it hits a little bit lower. The other thing that I really wanted to do was make this front ledge extra wide. And the reason that I did that was so that I would have a landing place for platters and serving things and maybe some tools, but it is also an amazing keep warm spot. This is fire brick, like to the touch. We've had the grill going the entire day, but these are hot to the touch right now, which means that I can rest something here and it's not going to get freezing cold. I grill out here year round. I've had New Year's parties out here. I've had fall parties, spring parties. So there are times when the ambient temperature is kind of chilly, and having this deep, I call it a piano because that's what we called it on fancy stoves that have a wide front lip like that. It gives me a lot of flexibility for things that I can put. The other thing that I wanted was a pole from which I could hang things. We actually installed a piece of rebar that goes across the top of the arch, and that was built in as the bricks were being laid. That is like part of the foundation. This is really awesome for, you can dry things on that. I've hung legs of lamb on that. You could have the kind of cast iron pot that has a lid that locks and a handle and just hang that over there. You can do a pot of beans over there. It just really comes in handy. And if you get a simple S-hook or like some kind of thin metal twine, you can hang things from there and have them like slowly cook over the fire, which is an amazing and gorgeous thing. The other thing that I wanted was a nice opening. So this is like very wide. It's almost a square and it's pretty deep. The front of the grill, if the fire is in the back, is warm. The bed of this is made out of fire brick, so it conducts heat really well. And this gives me all of these different areas. I can have a loaf of bread wrapped in tin foil just staying warm over there. I can have something in the back corner that I want going at like 500 degrees. I can pull coals, which is why I have this little grill set up. I can pull hot coals to the front of the grill. I never found like a fancy stand or the kind of thing that is self-adjusting. So there's hot coals in here from grilling earlier today, but I can just use a shovel to pull coals up to the front and then just space those bricks far enough apart. If I add another couple of bricks on either side, it's that much higher, could go lower. I've made flatbreads there. I've grilled short ribs. I have tons of videos where I'm cooking on this fire. So I can make this a very hot direct heat. I can make it ambient. I can make it imitate an oven. I can bury things in the coals. There's really like no kind of cooking that I can't do. Other thing is that the wood storage is set up to be directly underneath. A couple times a year, I call the wood guy and we get like a quarter cord of firewood. And this is lined with some 2x4s just to lift it off of the ground. There's a concrete slab underneath there as well that this foundation is built into with cinder block. Then I can fit to the depth of 2 sets of logs all the way to the back. If you're burning a fire all day long in the winter, this thing will devour firewood. So you actually go through it pretty fast. On hot days, burns not as fast, but that way I can just huck my logs onto the fire and cook. One thing that I did not put in at the beginning, but later installed, was the chimney. So in the plans that I've put together and designed for you guys, that hole for the chimney is there from the beginning. And it's really simple, terracotta, but one of my favorite features is that instead of just having the fire instead of having the smoke just sort of exhaust straight up into the air, this is a upended planter saucer, like for a terracotta plant. Just turned it over, and that helps diffuse the smoke as it's coming out of the top.
It was so smoky that you needed somebody to fan the smoke away. And I was like 6.
Really?
And I
You
said,
were fanning
why not?
me?
No, I said, why not get some goggles? Because the smoke was getting in your eyes. I was like, why not get some goggles? And it was like the smartest thing that had ever happened in my entire life. And you were so happy. It was like...
It does get really smoky. That might have been before we had the chimney.
Probably before we had the chimney.
Yeah, the chimney, right, it would all just pour out the front. I will tell you how to make one of these, but I'm not really the right person to ask about any permitting questions. That would be not something.
The permit master would probably be good at that?
Yeah, just ask the permit master. I'm not really going to field any...
The local permit master? They have those nowadays, right?
You did used to sit up there and like read books.
It's probably in the
I have photos of you.
Book.
Right,
The
permit master
number.
Yeah.
Is in the telephone book.
Would be funny if his name was Kermit.
There's no food out here, so I'm going to gander on away.
Goodbye. There's a lot of turkey inside. I used to have a Weber, regular kettle Weber, loved it, served me well for a really long time, and I had that, and then I got really lucky because there was a photo shoot for the magazine I worked at, and it was for the Big Green Egg, and they needed a place to take the photos, and people at the magazine knew that I had a backyard, and they were like, hey, Carla, would it be okay if we did that shoot in your backyard, and they'll deliver the Big Green Egg to your house? And I was like, why? Why, sure. That would be fine with me. And so the grill got delivered. We took photos out here that day, and then no one ever asked about it again. So that's how I ended up with this Big Green Egg. It is incredible. Also steep learning curve on this, but it's a Komodo style grill. It's ceramic lined, adjustable shelves. This is more for like if I just want to get a chimney going and cook something for dinner, or if I want to do something low and slow, because this does have a cover. This is what I choose. If I just want to grill like a pork chop and some asparagus for dinner, I'm not gonna like get hardwood logs going. So it's nice to have both. This is very, very generously sized. I also do my Thanksgiving turkey in the Big Green Egg, and it is really awesome. Thank you, Big Green Egg. You didn't even know that you were gifting it to me, but you were. I wanted this to act almost like a working kitchen out here on a budget. So the work tables, you will see thusly, these are 2x4s that are on sturdy sawhorses. And in the beginning, they were just kind of like sitting on top, and it got kind of wobbly and crazy. So now these are tied together with wood going that way. I have a little shelf up here that I can maybe place my beverages, for example. But it's really nice when I'm cooking. I can have like seasonings and things like that, or serviceware up here, and a cutting board down here. I don't even cover this in the winter. It is weird and gray green, but it totally functions, and I love it very much. Other very important thing that I have out here, we have DEET, a mosquito repellent with DEET. Guys, I am organic dairy all day, every day, but when it comes to mosquitoes, it's DEET for me. The other amazing thing that I have in the backyard is this thing. It's called a Thermacell. This is not sponsored or branded, but if they want to send me some extras, that is totally great with me. And it's a little atomizer, and it works like nobody's business. I'm sure this is DEET too. I really don't care because it works amazingly. And out here at 4 p.m. every day, it is like mosquito jungle, and they love me. And so this is essential to any of my backyard enjoyment. String lights, gotta have them. Everybody loves them. This side is also a good prep table. So if I have people over, I like to keep like drinks, food, plates, thingies over there. People can roll up and do their thing and kind of not be in my way while I'm cooking. And then on this side would be more like food prep area to go right into the fire or to come right back out. And on this side, the table is a little bit different. Again, like just one little cutout here where I keep like the flat top for the Big Green Egg. I have spare racks. I have a pizza peel. I have a plancha, just like my extra stuff I stash in there. I am overdue for like a big rust removal party. I like to do that in the spring for one of the first fires. And then down here, this is an old shelf from a Metro rack that I used to have. It kind of lives up out here, and it's just enough to raise things off the ground so I can store charcoal. This is another, this thing's really awesome. I love this one. This is like a dome shaped Korean grill, and then all the fat stripped down. The other really important thing that you need to have is a fire extinguisher. Hugely important. Do not do this without one. Couple chimneys. No shame in owning chimneys. Heat-proof gloves. Gotta have them. These are pretty worn. They're pretty gnarly. They're kind of like perpetually damp inside, which is gross, but I use them. So this backyard is about 14 feet wide. It's not a huge amount of space. And as someone who like has loved to grill forever since I was a teenager, my mom is the griller in my family, and she's 100% the reason why I grill. I love to grill. It is one of those things about food that never gets old, and it is also one of those things about food that, you know, you might never feel like you actually have any kind of a mastery over, or that you're even very good at, and that I love that. I kind of love always feeling like there's so much more that I could be doing with this medium. And when I first started grilling here, I truly had no idea what I was doing. And now maybe I have like a slight amount of idea of what I'm doing, but it's something that I look forward to doing for like decades more. So much that you can learn about fire control, maintenance, manipulation, so many different foods, so many different ways to cook. So it's really my favorite thing. I would say it's my favorite thing. It's my favorite thing. This is my happy place. This is where I am like the most happy, just being out here, lighting a fire, prepping, cooking, listening to music, birds, cats, helicopters. It's just the greatest. Thanks so much for stopping by and checking out my outdoor grilling setup. Don't forget, if you want to try to build one of these for yourself, go to the video description to get the link to download the manual, and stay hot, you guys. Stay hot forever. Pork, porky, porky, porky river, pork, porky all the day. A pork, porky in my porky river. Oh, these look done.